think school is the best place to meet co-founders. And for anybody in school, like if you're going to look for partners to build businesses with, I think school is probably one of the best places to meet people. But in the long run, I guess the concept of doing things that don't scale is if you're a big business, you can't do that. Like if we're a big business, I can't go to every single customer. But now I'm like, we're not a big business. If it's 20 customers, I can go to every single person. So that's like the idea. That's
what you kind of wait for the product to be perfect, or you launched it how it was?
One thing I think is that launch quickly. Like I think you launch fast. If you fail fast, iterate quickly.
You can never know if your product is going to be useful to the customer unless you ship it and the customer gives you feedback. Has there been a point where you guys have thought of quitting or just closing Gaderin down?
I'm a rational optimist. Like I know that there's no guarantee that Gaderin will be here tomorrow. You know, I know that there's no guarantee that we'll be here in like 6 months. The only way we can guarantee that is through the work we do. So like every single day is about.
How has it been dealing with like Ghanaian users and maybe African users?
The human race is somewhat predictable in terms of like how people will behave. And so for us, even building the product, like as much as we think of it from like a technology point of view, like there are other things we think about. So in terms of like even psychology.
Hello, Cornelius.
Hi, Nunya.
Yeah, so someone has just clicked on this video and they are wondering what we're about to talk about. And specifically, this channel is for inspiring young people to create their own businesses and startups. So why should someone listen to you?
Okay, so in this video, I hope to share my insights from that I've learned from building Gaderin together with the team. So actual learnings, you know, learnings that you can't get from anywhere, but it's from personal experience. And obviously the things that we've learned from doing this so far, there are things that I don't think would have learned in business school. So I just hope to share my thoughts, my insights and my learnings from us building Gaderin.
All right, that's cool. I think I know your co-founder, Sweden, because we were in the same class reading computer science back in school, and I kind of got to know you through him. Yeah, so how did you know that how did the relationship start? And how did you know that this is someone I want to work with a long time and be my co-founder?
So Swithing and I first met on Twitter, now known as X. We're talking about, I guess, where I had the idea for Gaderin, so we kind of spoke about it in the DMs, just like shared my thoughts of what I thought Gaderin could be and how I had envisioned it. And it seemed like something he was interested in. That was like maybe 5 years ago. So, I mean, 5 or 6 years ago. So we spoke about it, we stayed in touch, and we've done like things on the side. Like we've worked on like side projects and things like that. But just from like the period of working together and things like that, when we were ready to launch Gaderin, I knew that he was definitely like the person I wanted on my side to kind of build this with.
Okay, I think one of these days I'll just invite him so that I get to also talk to him.
Definitely. Hopefully he'll come. He's the shy type, but hopefully he'll be happy to speak.
All right. Okay, I mean, we were in the same class back in school, so I was thinking you guys met in school instead of on Twitter.
No, and that's one of the things. I think school is the best place to meet co-founders. And for anybody in school, like if you're going to look for partners to build businesses with, I think school is probably one of the best places to meet people. But I guess unfortunately or fortunately, Swithing and I met outside of school. But we still have like a great friendship, and I guess we're now our business partners.
Okay, cool. So I'd like you to tell us about yourself. So I looked into you a little bit, and I see that you do a couple of things. So you're into software engineering. I think you do a little bit of music. I saw something about creative directing and all of that. So,
Okay, cool. So I guess on a high level, I'm a software engineer. These days, because of God, when people ask what I do, I just say I do my best, you know, because there's a lot I do. But if you ask me what I do for a living, I'm a software engineer. I do consulting on the side. So I work also as a technology consultant. And for some of the organizations I work with as a consultant, they're like creative agencies. So they do like fashion, music, things like that. So I've been in that space where like I'm working as a technology guy in that space. But I also think I'm creative, so I'm also able to like share like my ideas in terms of how I think things should be done. So I'm a software guy, but I also dabble in like creative stuff.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So we have been mentioning Gaderin for some time now. I'm sure people are just wondering what Gaderin is. So would you like to just tell us about it?
Okay, so what is Gaderin? So Gaderin is basically a platform to find dates, leisure, hobby experiences. Now how Gaderin came about is, before there was Gaderin, oftentimes I'll be looking for things to do. Like I was like, if I want to do things outside of going to a restaurant, like I'll always be looking for things to do. And it was always very hard to find things.
Okay.
Like I'd have to scroll on Instagram, or I had to like DM my friends like, oh, I don't want to go to a restaurant. Are there any fun things I can do? Or are there like any different experiences? So I was like, there should obviously be an easier way to kind of find things to do rather than like having to DM people or scrolling on TikTok. So the very basic idea of Gaderin was to have one place where if anybody was looking for things to do, like different experiences, you could just go on one platform and then find things to do. Like I was sharing earlier, as we've built the platform, it has evolved now. There's like people connecting, meeting people over shared experiences.
Yeah.
But I guess the very fundamental idea was to build a platform where you could easily find like experiences, dates, leisure, hobby experiences. So if you ask me what Gaderin is, that's what Gaderin is, a place to find curated experiences.
Okay. So how long has this platform existed? Because I think I just heard about it a year ago or 2 years ago. Yeah.
So we launched in April of 2025. So I guess last week was like 1 year. I mean, we put out the MVP. We didn't do like any beta testing or anything. So we launched in April, like 29th, a day after my birthday. So on my birthday I was coding. Yeah. So it's been a little over a year that we launched the platform. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the Gaderin platform. I just want to know what the numbers are, if people are using it, and
Yeah. So in terms of users, we're trying to get to 1 million monthly active users. We are not there.
Okay.
But averagely, I didn't look at the numbers before I came today, but averagely we have like maybe around like between 8 to 10,000 monthly active users.
Okay.
We average that. So I mean, some days, some months less, but averagely around like 10,000 monthly active users.
Okay.
We have like roughly around 5,000 people who have booked an experience on the app.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I guess, patronage, and I would say we have around 330 people who have hosted experiences, or like 330 experiences hosted on the platform. So in a year, I guess we haven't done too badly in terms of like reach and growth and numbers. Yeah.
All right. So you have people who host the experiences, and you have people who come on the platform to experience those experiences that people have hosted.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you get... Let me call them vendors.
Okay.
How do you get the vendors on the platform or the event organizers on the platform?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess the model with which we've operated with in the beginning is a concept called doing things that don't scale. So in the beginning, before we launched, it was like, what kind of experiences do we want on the platform? Who are the people who host these experiences, and where can we find them? So if it was on Instagram, like I said, before there was Gaderin, I'd have to like be scrolling on Instagram, TikTok. So in the beginning, I was us actively trying to create like all the best experiences we want on the platform. Who are the people hosting these things, and where can we find them?
Yeah.
So it was mostly like we found some of them on like Instagram, TikTok, and then it would be like trying to get contacts and sometimes going to the space and visiting them. So in the beginning, it was a lot of like doing things that don't scale, like calling as many people as we can, because we didn't know all these people personally. Like even for some of the hosts, like it was through a mutual connection. So I saw that these people were doing great things. I saw that I had like a friend who knew them. So I'm like, can you connect me to this person? So it was a lot of like trying to find these people ourselves and then reaching out, calling them and trying to get these people on the platform. As the platform has grown, we have people submitting experiences that, we want to host experiences. And currently, we have a quality control measure where when you submit, we kind of like go through it. I guess if we can visit your space, because some people have physical spaces, try to vet and approve it. So now we have inbounds where people are coming themselves. But in the beginning, it was like us like trying to find all the best people we could find.
Yeah. I like the point you mentioned about doing things that do not scale. So I'm just trying to recall a story that I read somewhere about when Airbnb started. So they had these co-founders, and people weren't really patronizing the platform because they didn't like the quality of the pictures that were uploaded to the platform.
Exactly.
So the founders flew to their hosts, so the hosts that have the buildings, and then they took the pictures themselves, uploaded it, and then the platform started growing. And that's how come Airbnb has grown from there.
Yeah, and I say so. There are like so many examples. So I guess the concept of doing things that don't scale was, I guess, is Paul Graham. Paul Graham is the founder of Y Combinator. He kind of like crystallized it into like a concept.
Yeah.
And the example he uses is Stripe. So Stripe is founded by the Collison brothers.
Okay.
And then what they'll do is that they'll go to cafes and like they want people to test out Stripe. And if you're like, you want to test it out, normal engineers will be like, okay, I'll go home, I'll send you a link, install it. But they're like, oh, you want to test it? Where's your laptop? And they'll do it for you. They'll come to everybody. Just that kind of thing where it's like in the long run, I guess the concept of doing things that don't scale is if you're a big business, you can't do that. Like if we're a big business, I can't go to every single customer.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, we're not a big business. If it's 20 customers, I can go to every single person. So that's like the idea. That's why it's called doing things that don't scale, because in the long run, if you become bigger, you obviously cannot do that. But while you're small, it's like any way, any means it takes to get that one customer, two customers, like you're going to put in work. Yeah.
I mean, you're giving me an idea, because I have a product called Review, which allows businesses to collect reviews from their customers. And I built this platform about, let's say, 3 months or 4 months ago. Okay. I've forgotten the exact timeline. But I realized that people, even though I've talked about it online, and I have some other people who are trying to push the idea, I'm not seeing a lot of customers get on the platform, right? So I think one thing would be to go out there, talk to the businesses, especially the restaurants, and tell them that they can use this to collect review from their customers and all of that. Anyways, so let's just move on.
Okay.
So you talked about launching, and then you didn't do any beta testing. So did you kind of wait for the product to be perfect, or you launched it how it was?
So I guess my team will tell you, like, I have strong ideas in terms of how I think things should be done. Okay. One thing I think is that launch quickly. Like, I think you launch fast. If you fail fast, iterate quickly. So, I mean, when we launched the platform, I was looking at it a few days ago. I think we had like maybe 5 experiences on the platform. And when I look at the platform when we launched and like now, maybe 12 months later, like a lot of things have changed. And I'm still like, if we had waited, I don't think we would have made the changes we made. Because like Zoo always shares this example. We had one host who sent us like a page long of things that they had used the platform and they thought could be better. Yeah. They were like, I want to get on a call with you. And they walked us through like 1 page long of like, I was trying to do this. It wasn't intuitive. Like, can we? And those things were like very helpful where I'm like, if we sat in our room and were coding, we would have probably never been able to figure those things out. So the reason why we shipped quickly is, at the end of the day, it's a consumer product we are building. So we need to get it into the hands of users as fast as we can. Yeah. And then we ship quickly. Like, we're software engineers, like, we'll fix things. If it breaks, we'll fix it. So exactly. I guess that has been the good thing of like us shipping quickly. And then if we need to fix something or make changes, like, we have our laptops, we can always make changes. Yeah.
That makes sense. So guys, I've said this like a couple of times, and I've made videos about this particular thing a couple of times. You can never know if your product is going to be useful to a customer unless you ship it and the customer gives you feedback. So that's the whole point of building an MVP and getting it out. So you have ideas, right? And you just sit in your house, you work on the idea. But if a customer doesn't use the idea, you don't know how to better iterate on it to make it better to fit the customer.
True.
So building an MVP is very important. All right. So have you guys ever thought of... So why I'm asking this question is because I have some statistics around companies that start up and how they fail. Okay. Right? So let's say there are 100 companies that are startups. In a span of 5 years, maybe 50 of them can fail. Yeah. And these are real statistics. True. So has there been a point where you guys have thought of quitting or just closing Gaderin down?
Oh, not at all. So I guess my mentor doesn't like when I say this, but I'm a rational optimist. Like, I know that there's no guarantee that Gaderin will be here tomorrow. I know that there's no guarantee that we'll be here in like 6 months. The only way we can guarantee that is through the work we do. So like every single day is about compounding. So the more we compound, the better I know our chances will be like 6 months from now. So, I mean, it's not always that things are like, smooth. Like, we've had times when like I was laughing with Sweating the last time. Like, the first month, we made like 1 transaction and it was me. It's like my own money there, and we always laugh about it.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, those were like, I'm like, it'll always be like, you know, ups and downs. But there's never been a time where we're like, we're quitting, because at the end of the day, we all believe in the vision. We all believe in like what we're trying to do, and we know that it won't be like perfect.
Yeah.
And we always say if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So even when it's hard, we're like, Charlie, it's just another day at the office, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. We haven't had that moment yet where we're like, oh, we're quitting. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so just a few so just a little statistics on this kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I was reading something and it says that 20% of startups fail within the first year.
Yeah.
39 fail within 3 years, 50 fail within 5 years, and 65 fails within 10 years.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of failure, right?
Yeah.
And there's something that I've noticed, which I think I would want to talk about sometime, but not today, is that when I say that young people or people who are into tech try to build products and get them into the hands of customers or build their startups, people just discourage them and be like, no, like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work, like, because people have put money into products and then they've ended up failing. But then I think that we should create this space where we allow people to build stuff, get it out there. I mean, if it doesn't work, fine. You can pivot, right? And you can also iterate. Yeah. So people should just have the courage to build things that they think people will need and then try to see if it works.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, as a software engineer, like, I enjoy building things where I'm like, some things I understand that it's not going to be like a startup. Some things are just fun projects that I'm like, I'm doing for myself. Okay. But like when I'm building a product where I'm like, okay, like I'm building this for consumers, I feel like it's like, if you go to every dev's GitHub, there are probably like so many projects on GitHub that we've never like put in the hands of consumers.
Yeah.
So like, I totally agree, like ship as much as possible. The thing is that not everything will be successful, which is fine. Exactly. I mean, not everything will be a big startup.
Yeah.
But then even if it doesn't succeed, there are always learnings. Like even from building Gaderin, like I think I understand like building consumer apps to like a very large extent where I'm like, okay, these are learnings that I can translate to other things.
Exactly.
Even beyond just tech. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's fun to build stuff, but don't keep it to yourself. Like, get it into the hands of people. Let them give you feedback. It also even makes you a better engineer. You know, like it makes you a better engineer when people are like, okay, like you are building this, like it could be better this way. Because as a dev, you know, you're in your house, you're thinking of all the features. You're like, I mean, right now with Klah and stuff, it can be easy to like build like 300 features at a go.
Yeah.
But like the more you get it into the hands of people, it makes you better even as an engineer with the feedback they give you and things like that. So I totally agree. There should be room for people to be able to explore, like, you know, building projects and just getting it into the hands of users.
Yeah, that was very true. One thing that I've seen, so I remember for some time I was applying to a couple of jobs, and one thing that I saw was that for some of the job descriptions, right, you see something like, you should apply if you have ever created a startup and it has failed, right? Because whoever is hiring you wants to get that experience because there's a lot of experience that comes with building something that has failed. Because, I mean, you're going to be thinking like a founder, you're going to be thinking about how to make the customer happy. So people want to hire people who have built something and have failed. But, I mean, people just don't want to like send their products out there because they are scared or something. So if you're watching this and you have something that you want to launch, better like just do it and see how it goes. Anyway, so have you guys had any opportunity from incubators or accelerators or maybe any angel investors?
Yeah. So if any angel investor is watching, I'm shooting my shot. But I mean, we're in the Ashesi Venture Incubator.
Okay.
So Ashesi is like one of our donors.
Okay.
In terms of funding, not directly, we don't have any funding yet. I mean, from our side, Ashesi.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had a few like angel investors reach out wanting to like, you know, put money in it and stuff like that. We're still like assessing the options in terms of that. So yeah, but I mean, we do, I guess when the time is right, we do hope to raise like some venture funding when the time is right,
Okay, you mentioned Ashesi Venture Incubator. Can you give us a little, I think this is the first time I'm hearing this, so can you give us a little information about?
Okay, so Ashesi, I'll just call it AVI. So the AVI is an incubator program run by Ashesi University.
Okay.
So essentially it gives opportunities to like alumni or like companies with alumni. So just the thing we're talking about, if you have an idea and you're looking to build it, they kind of help you set it up, just like with coaching, mentorship, funding. things like that, just to kind of encourage people to start their own projects. So that's what the AVI does, and it's mainly for like alumni or like, I guess, ventures with alumni on the team.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
I think there are a couple of them. Maybe these ones are too big, but I've heard of this Google Startup Accelerator.
Yes.
That I think they have a portion specifically for African startups.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are watching this and you have something that you want an investor in, or kind of an incubator to learn from mentors and all of that, you can check out the Google Startup Incubator. And I think there's also Stanbic Business Accelerator, but that's more of like for small scale businesses. I don't have the exact details, but you should just check some of those ones out.
I mean, there are quite a few. I know Mest used to have I don't know if they still do, but I know Mest used to have one. And I mean, even outside of Ghana, there's Techstars. Techstars also is like an incubator that gives funding. And I mean, I guess the boss of all is YC. You know, YC is like what. I don't know if everybody has passed to go into YC. Yeah, but there are quite a few, and I guess if you're serious about what you're doing and you're looking for funding opportunities, I mean, there are a few out there.
Okay, that's cool. So, Gaderin has been on the market for some time, right? And I'm sure you have already noticed that the event space, or initially I thought Gaderin was like a ticketing platform, so I usually refer to it as maybe. I was going to say the tourism space is big and you can get people in there and all of that. So have you identified some gaps that would enable you to get to a valuation of maybe, let's say, $1 million? So you're making like $1 million worth of transactions in a year. Like, what are some of the gaps that, and I'm also thinking about this. There are cool places in Nigeria, South Africa, like other African countries. So are you guys looking to expand? And what are some of the gaps that you have realized that can get you into making that worth of transactions in a year? Yeah.
So the transactions are important, but I will share with the team. Like, there are a few times I'll go for something hosted on Gaderin. And then I will meet people who are there and they are friends because they met at like another Gaderin event. So I see like, just like those small groups forming, and I'm like, okay, like for me, that's my joy, just seeing the connections that can, because ultimately that's what we're called Gaderin. We want to make it easy for people to find experiences and also find their community. So the name is just like Gaderin. In terms of transactions, I mean, I guess we have a roadmap. We have a way we think. I mean, I guess the point of building businesses is to kind of have a projection. Like I always say, when you start a startup, it's because you think the world should be a certain way, and it's not that way yet. So your startup is to try and get the world to where you think, or how you think things should be done. So for us, I guess in terms of how people connect, in terms of how people do things, we kind of have an idea of how we think things should be done. And in terms of like Africa has the youngest population in the world. In terms of like just commerce transactions, I think by Asia, Africa has the largest commerce transactions. So in terms of like valuation, and in terms of if I think it is possible to reach 1 million, I think it's possible to do over 1 million. We have a few ideas. I mean, I can't go into all the details and stuff, but I definitely think it's very doable to reach 1 million plus in Africa.
And are you looking to expand into other countries?
Definitely. Our goal is bigger than Ghana. I mean, Ghana is the pilot, but then we definitely hope to expand into other places where, I guess, our model of operation is to like figure out our market and then scale. We're not trying to like scale for scaling's sake. Some people, it's like, oh, I'm in Ghana, Togo, South Africa, just for numbers. But then really, Ghana is a pilot for us. We want to really understand the market. And then we believe that the learnings of like, we don't think that people in Ghana are too dissimilar from people in like Nigeria or people from like South Africa. There might be a few things different, but then we're building like a theory in terms of how we're operating in Ghana. And we hope to be able to use those learnings to launch into other markets.
Okay, that's cool. Anyway, so there's this thing. So when I built Review for reviews and stuff, I was talking to a friend and he mentioned that the way Ghanaians think is kind of different, right? People want products that are going to put money into their pockets, right? So if I have a business, collecting reviews doesn't really matter as far as people are patronizing my business, right? So people mostly want a product that is going to help them make more money, right? Even though if you think about it in a long term, reviews are actually something that would draw customers to you. So my whole point is that working in the Ghanaian ecosystem is kind of difficult and different from maybe other ecosystems. So how has it been dealing with like Ghanaian users and maybe African users?
So hopefully I don't get philosophical, but in terms of just like users, ultimately I believe that, and maybe this is just my theory, I believe that the human race is somewhat predictable. In terms of like how people will behave. And so for us, even building the product, like as much as we think of it from like a technology point of view, like there are other things we think about. So in terms of like even psychology, in psychology, there's a concept of like social proof. So you talk about reviews. Exactly. Reviews is review adheres to the concept of social proof in psychology, where like I'll do things because I've seen somebody do it and I guess it benefited them. So then even when we're building the products for us, we're like, okay, if we have reviews on Gaderin, not in the way you have it, but then the reason we have reviews on Gaderin is just like thinking through the concept of like social proof. In economics, there's just the concept of incentive cost bias, like you say. Like people want money in their pockets. At the end of the day, everybody does things because they want some form of incentive. So they want to either make money, they want acknowledgement, they want reputation. But then I guess in economics, the highest form of incentive is money. So it's like, okay, like how can we adhere to the incentive cost bias that is predictable in like every human race? So I guess like even for us, like when we are building a product, as much as we are building for like a Ghanaian audience, I mean for now, we're always thinking about, okay, like what are the things which are like predictable enough that we're like, okay, like social proof is predictable, you know, like people want to see that people have done it and it's good. How do we adhere to that? There's a concept of like incentive cost bias. So I'll give Gaderin, the way we adhere to that is we have something we call Gaderin points. So the more you book experiences, we reward you because everybody wants to be rewarded for like doing things. So there's a lot of things that we think of. Like sometimes when I tell people, it's like I don't want to get philosophical, but in terms of like building a product, like so many like disciplines that we combine, like from like even physics to like, we're like, okay, what are the main concepts in like this discipline that will kind of predict how people will behave? So I mean, I don't know if we have time to go into that, but just like, you know, just from what you've said about reviews, I know there's a concept of like, you know, just like social proof. So how do we tailor social proof to kind of fit into the product we are building? There's the concept of like incentive cost bias in economics. How do we adhere to that? How do we fit that into our product? So that's, I guess, and maybe my recommendation to everybody is that like whenever you are building something, like humans are complicated. There are like so many factors that are like, you know, working together to kind of predict how people behave. So it's always like good to like think of like all those things and what will cause people to behave in a certain way. And I think one of my favorite quotes is like it's from Benjamin Graham or Benjamin Franklin, and he says that when you're trying to convince somebody of something, you should appeal to interest, not reason. So I guess the very easy way to explain it is that people won't do things because it's right. People will do things because it is in their interest. So it's almost similar to like when you're pitching your product. Like just because your product will make their life, I mean, easier or something, it's like, okay, or it'll make the world better. Like to the person you're talking to, that's not like the most important thing. It's like, how does this product benefit me? Like how do I maximize it? So I guess that's the way to kind of like present your product to people. It's like what is in their best interest? I mean, the fact that your product will save the world, like me as a user, okay, that's cool, but how does it benefit me? So yeah, I guess to convince anybody of something, you don't appeal to reason, you appeal to interest.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Anyway, so we are getting to the end, but then there's just one thing. I've seen this trend going around where people be like, tweet into existence and all of that, where you say something that you have always wanted to do. So someone will be like, this year I'll be working for Google and all of that. And December is coming. You know, there are a lot of events, a lot of people coming for tourism and all of that. So is there a particular event organizer or kind of vendor you're looking to work at? I mean, you can just say it and you don't know who is watching, and they can just give you the opportunity to work with them.
Or how do they even say, my destiny helper might be watching? So, I mean, there are a few people would like to so there are a few like gathering things we are planning on the platform. And if you haven't checked out gathering.com, you should check it out. There are really cool stuff on there. But definitely there are a lot of people who like to do things with. So like from Sarkodie, there's a whole list. I mean, but definitely Sarkodie would like to do something with Sarkodie. I don't know if Dangote, you're watching this. I'll put my number out there, but even experiences with like not only entertainment, but like even like just business and things like that. Like Dangote, like Sarkodie, and a few other people. But those are the two people that come to mind. Yeah.
Okay. I hope they're watching, and
Dangote is definitely watching. I'm sure.
They give you the opportunity to get onto their platform.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question, which is all turning into a tradition, I just want you to think about a situation where gathering does not exist and you are going to start gathering afresh. Let's say tomorrow you wake up, there's no gathering, and you have to start afresh. So what are some of the things that you do differently this time around?
So in terms of things I would do differently, nothing comes to mind, but I definitely know there are some things that we did that we'll probably do better.
Okay.
So I guess the first thing is like vision. I think vision is like the most important thing, and making sure that everybody on the team like is aligned on the vision and what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is like vision, even before the product. I think vision is important, and I think team is like very important. And there's Jim Collins says that when you're building a team, it's more important to get the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and then you can figure out where to put the right people.
Yeah.
So for me, the way I've been thinking of building teams is like getting the right people on the bus. We'll figure out the rules for them, but it's really like in terms of like what kind of values you want in the people, what kind of, I guess, just values and just being aligned on what we're trying to do. So it'll be vision team. And the next thing is that, like, I mean, we launch quickly, but I mean, I think I even launch quicker. I think launching very quick is like the most important thing. Like, get your product into the hands of users and just like iterate quickly. That's like the main thing. And I guess Swithing and I, like, there are days when we talk about like we create a PRD, and I'm like, bro, in 30 minutes we're going to finish building it. Also, I'm like, in 24 hours we'll finish building it. And sometimes I'm like, are we really going to build it? But we know that like we'll build it in 24 hours. So just that. So it'll be vision, team, and just like speed of execution.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So okay, guys, there you have it. On behalf of Cornelius, who is one of the co-founders from Gaderin, and I'm sure you have learned a lot. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That is one way to show support to us. And also share this video and also leave a comment in the comment section about what you think about the conversation that we just had. So thank you, Cornelius, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the conversation.
I did. Very enjoyable, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.